the stage of the relationship that you're in should determine how you break up with them. Like, if you've just been talking to them for a few days, like, that shouldn't have the same weight as far as how you break up with them if you're ending an engagement.
So many Christians, we have good spiritual skills and spiritual habits, but we don't have good communication skills with people. It's better to over communicate, because if you don't, you are contributing to the toxic dating culture and peeing in the dating pool, all the things that people say of why they hate dating in 2025.
What's up, fam? Welcome back to our channel. My name is Tim. This is my beautiful wife, Pauline, and you're tuning into another episode of the W Podcast, where you get wisdom in the word with the
Wheelers.
Hey, so we are super excited to be with you this week. We're talking about something that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to the relationship space.
As Christians, especially. And really in general.
And that's how to break up well. That's how to end a relationship well. And the thing is, breakups don't have to be messy. They don't have to be disrespectful. They don't have to be dramatic, even though they can be. And something else we don't talk about enough, especially as Christians, is God cares about and is just as concerned with how you exit something with how you enter it. So, the Bible talks about treat others how you want to be treated. Like,
golden rule.
That's something that's really important, but also somewhat overlooked. Because when we're breaking up with somebody, sometimes we're so focused on how we feel, whether we feel like they're wrong or they're not good for me. So I'm thinking about myself, but we forget sometimes, like, oh, this is a person too. Like, even though it didn't work out with us, like, they deserve for it to be ended in a humane way.
Humane is crazy. Please keep it humane and legal, bare minimum.
So if you've never been taught how to break up well, like, this is not a shame blasting podcast,
of course,
but we want to equip you and help you be able, like we said, to do to others as you would like them to do to you, as the Bible says. So have you, babe, I don't know if I ever asked you this, have you ever been,
you definitely have asked me that,
have you ever been broken up with before?
I don't know. Like,
how do you not know?
I've definitely been ghosted. So, like, does that count as a breakup? But yeah, I mean, I think this is such a problem culturally, because, like, a lot of people will tell you how to start a relationship, but not how to end one. And ghosting is so big in 2025.
When you say you've been ghosted, like, were y'all, like, what was the context?
So what I really mean is, like, having a direct conversation of, like, hey, this.
No, I get that, but I'm saying were y'all official? Was this a date?
No, that's why I don't really know. Like,
y'all were just talking.
Well, actually, no. Let me dial back. I have been broken up before, and I was devastated.
Tell the truth.
In high school, I was, but the reason why I forgot is because we got back together. So, but it still counts. Being broken up with is being broken up with.
That happened to me too.
Why are you laughing like that?
No, like, because I'm saying the fact that, like, in high school, I was broken up with, and then we got back together, the same person. But then I broke up with him the same time.
But that's what also a part of this.
Wait, you heard that last part. Did you break up the second time? It was mutual ending.
Yes, it was mutual college. Yeah, but it was like it was more like a closing of an account versus of like a breaking up. But anyway.
Yeah, I've been broken up with twice.
Okay.
That one time in high school, I just mentioned, we ended up getting back together at some point. But also in 7th grade. And that was
not a real relationship?
It was real in my heart at that time.
It was real to me. Did you cry?
No, but I was very sad. The problem was I just wasn't cool enough at that moment.
She told that to your face?
I know. She didn't need to tell me. I'm very smart.
Let's say, because middle schoolers can be cold.
I knew she didn't.
You're ugly.
She didn't want to break up with me. People were pressuring her, like, yo, why are you with this guy?
Peer pressure is pretty crazy.
Like, yo, why are you with this guy?
Yeah.
And it's not even that I definitely wasn't a loser.
So she liked you against her friend group's better judgment.
Yeah, like, I wasn't a loser, but I wasn't one of the top dogs. Especially, that was 7th grade.
MySpace,
now,
top 80.
I told you, like, 8th grade when I made the basketball team, it's crazy. Everything changed. Suddenly, all the cool people want to talk to me for that little second.
People in college and certain social statuses.
So, it's just interesting how things like that. That's why you don't get too caught up in what people think about you. Side note.
Fleeting.
So, let's just get this clear, out the way. Breakups. When you are breaking up with somebody.
Yeah.
We have this phrase, Pauline says it all the time. To be unclear is to be unkind.
Yes.
So this episode is really going to help you be clear with somebody, but also be kind at the same time when you are breaking up.
Right, because the foundation is, we're not telling you guys in this episode if you should or should not break up with somebody because it's just too much context, and that's something that you can deal with your community and with the Lord. But when you've come to the place where you're like, I need to break up with them, this is my next step, this is what I need to do, how do I do it? And we literally know some of you guys have Googled, how do I break up with somebody? Because there's just really not a lot of ways to do that. There's not a lot of just steps on how to do that. Even if your mentor tells you, sometimes they're a good mentor that tell you just hey, just end it. And it's I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel I don't want to, because nobody really wants to be mean. I think a lot of times you put yourself in that person's place, in their shoes, and it's man, I remember my high school breakup. It was so devastating to me because it was literally the day that I got into my dream college, and I was this is the best day of my life, and now it's the worst.
Tragic.
Yeah, it was not fun at all. I was very devastated. I didn't eat for a week, but I was very emotional because I'm extra in general, so it kind of is on brand with my personality. But anyway, yeah, it's really important that we do everything unto the Lord and follow the golden rule. And a lot of times, because we want to be nice, we are often indirect, and what we hope that you take from this episode is that no matter what your specific kind of context is with breaking up and your situation and what relationship that you're in, your goal should be, number one, to be respectful of that person's character, and how you're communicating with them by first of all communicating at all and not just ghosting and treating them like a human, but then also to be clear, because if you're not those two things, if you're kind of giving mixed signals and it's oh, we broke up but you still call me every day, that's very confusing, and that's not breaking up and doing everything unto the Lord. You entered into the relationship with clarity, you asked them out with clarity, it's time to exit with the same clarity and respect, and we said, do everything, well, not we said, God said in Colossians 3 is to do everything unto the Lord, and that includes breaking up just the same way you clearly quit your job. When you move on from your job, you do that in a clear way.
Everybody don't do that,
right? Well, but you should. But you should,
right? So let's get into it, because if you watched last week's episode, we talked about the 6 stages every relationship should go through.
Yeah.
And this episode, what we're going to do is take those same stages, but flip it in the sense that here's how you break up with somebody depending on what stage you're in. Because the stage of the relationship that you're in should determine how you break up with them. If you've just been talking to them for a few days, that shouldn't have the same weight as far as how you break up with them if you're ending an engagement.
Right.
And we're going to walk you through that. So the first stage, we call it the spark. This is light interest, DMs, text convos. This is very almost surface level of a relationship.
But there's more banter, and this way you guys make sure if you haven't watched that last episode that you do, because it does matter. But there's still your heart still needs to be honest and to be honorable. Because especially if you're, a Christian, which we hope you are watching this, this a lot of times can be, you don't want to create a trail of broken hearts behind you, especially if you're dating people in your church or just in the community, because your witness is affected by how you treat people in all circumstances. So yeah, even if you're just in the spark stage, you still need to be clear, because you're getting the sense that this person likes you or you like them, and you don't want to be leading people on. Yeah,
so no ghosting, period. We don't do ghosting. We don't respect
What is ghosting? Break it down for us.
You already did it, but
I did.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier. Ghosting is just you just
ignore them.
Yeah, you evaporate from that person's life.
Evaporate is crazy.
You just are gone from that person's life forever. No communication.
Evaporate is crazy. I've never understood that.
So, all right, let's get super practical. We're gonna give you suggestions. You can literally use these word for word, or you can bring it into your own words.
Yes.
But
a script for you.
In the spark stage, again, light interest, DMs, text combos, maybe a couple of conversations over the phone. This is what you could do. You could just send a brief text, because there's really been no super investment. Y'all haven't even gone out for real. You could just say, hey, I've enjoyed getting to know you briefly. It's been brief. But I don't see this moving forward. Just wanted to be upfront. You can just leave it there. They can respond, obviously, but you don't really need to get into a back and forth.
You don't owe them an explanation. It's just putting them on notice.
The key here is that you let them know.
Yeah.
Again, you didn't just disappear and they've never
Evaporate.
never knew you existed ever again. It's like,
Float away
no,
like gas.
I know for sure that this person, like, they didn't die. They just ain't interested in me no more.
And then when they pop up seeing you with somebody else, they're not like, oh, I thought we were still together, because that stuff does happen too. If you don't, and you decide to ghost and you don't put them on notice of like your decision, I know it can feel kind of awkward, especially if you're like, hey, I never told them that I liked them, or that like I wanted to get to know them more. It's better to over communicate, because if you don't, you are contributing to the toxic dating culture and peeing in the dating pool, all the things that people say of why they hate dating in 2025. But it's just especially important as a Christian and as your witness of like, hey, I don't ever want to make God look bad by how I treat other people. And like, is it totally necessary? Culture's gonna tell you no, but hey, we're set apart, so we do things that other people don't do, and we're overly compassionate and communicate and treat people like, you have to imagine this like your brother or your sister, because they are in Christ, and treat them better.
So the second stage that you are in when you're dating is the intentional talking stage. This is consistent conversations pre-dating. How do you break up with somebody when you're in that phase? How you can do it, there's a couple options. Well, really, there's one. A phone call is best.
Yeah.
And saying something like this, again, you can say this if you want. I've enjoyed our conversations, but I've realized we're not aligned in what we're looking for. I'm not going to continue pursuing this. Here's why you want to say it to some degree like this. You want to be specific, but you don't want to be savage. Mm-hmm. So you're not trying to attack their character, be like, yo, you suck, or I don't think you're cute.
You're way shorter than person.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, this isn't aligned with where I'm going. And then you have that super clarity. I'm not going to continue to pursue this. Because sometimes people don't hear you when you're not that specific, and they think there's hope. It's like, no, there's no hope here. Like, right. This is it. But there's no slow fading, meaning there's no opportunity for them to be like, well, let's see where this goes. Like, maybe we can still be friends.
What can I do better? Maybe I'll take you to a different restaurant next time. No, it's not going to change anything. This is what I want. Yeah.
And this matters. Why does this matter?
Yeah, it matters because at the end of the day, we're still treating people well. And, like, even if your relationship itself never came to be, you say like, that was never my boyfriend or girlfriend, and it wasn't a serious situation, but like, you still want to take people seriously and over communicate. Just the same way as like, if you're applying for a job and maybe you only have like a quick conversation with a recruiter, it's still nice to hear from them, hey, we're not going to move forward with your process with this job. Thank you for talking to me that one time. Thank you for coming in for one interview. Maybe it wasn't 3 interviews, but it was just one. Like, thank you for respecting me, and that way just letting me know where you landed and where you stand. And it's the same thing with dating, of like, hey, no, they weren't your boyfriend or girlfriend, no, you didn't, they didn't meet your parents, but you still spent time with them, and hopefully you respect their time and respect your own time to clearly end it.
Yeah. And this episode came from a thread that we posted about how to break up well, or just how to do it in each stage. And we had a comment that I just thought really summed up what we're saying here, from Melly Fiona. Hope I'm saying that right. But here's what they shared. Thank you for sharing this, talking about our post, because some people don't know better or don't care. Mm-hmm. She said that she felt disrespected when a man she was recently dating texted this to her. What if we pause talking for a week and see what God wants to do? Put it on God. He even
blaming God for your poor communication skills.
He even sent me a sermon clip from YouTube. He claimed we would speak on June 28th when the week was over, when this happened. On the 28th, he didn't call or text. She waited until the end of the day on the 29th to send a farewell text and said, hey, clearly we both agree we're not a good fit for each other. Take care and God bless you. Good for her, still blessing him. Bless your enemies. If he lost interest or realized we weren't a good fit, this is what she's writing in the comment. The least he could do was be a real man. She didn't say that part. The least he could do was reach out to say that. Yeah. Instead, he left me to state the obvious for him. Yeah. Now, my last impression of him will always be that he doesn't keep his word.
That's crazy. And that's so important because, like, really, I don't care how much you love Jesus and how much you spend time with him and whatever you do to call yourself a Christian. Like, this is not treating people well, and it does affect your witness. If you say that you're a Christian, this is how you treat people. And honestly, you're missing out on an opportunity to build your communication skills and to have hard conversations, because there's going to be a lot of hard conversations in dating and in marriage and throughout your entire life. And like so many Christians, we have good spiritual skills and spiritual habits, but we don't have good communication skills with people. And God cares about how we treat people. I mean, he literally tells us, like, if you have a grievance or an offense against your brother or sister, deal with that before you come to me. And that's, that's God's heart for, like, he cares for how we treat our brothers and our sisters.
Yeah. So the third stage is the exclusive dating stage. You're officially together. If this was 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you would have put on Facebook in a relationship. You would have changed your status. Now, how would you handle breaking up with somebody in this stage? You always want to do it in person. Mm-hmm. Or if you're long distance, a video call is fine, sure. Mm-hmm. And here's what you can say. I realized our visions and life goals aren't aligned, because hopefully y'all was having some type of real conversations. I care about you, but I can't continue this relationship toward marriage. I want to be clear that we're breaking up. Mm-hmm. So this is important because it's allowing you to be clear, but also set expectations about future contact. Like, don't hit me up tomorrow.
I'm not coming to your mom's cookout.
No, this is it's
over.
It's over. And again, don't make this about blaming them and like you're so awful and I hate you or you're trash, whatever. Just this is about a directional. We're not going in the same direction,
right? And
because of that, I don't want to continue the relationship. And if you don't do this part well, what happens is you give the person hope that you may still have a future together. And if you don't really want that, you want to make sure it's as clear as possible that, hey, I'm ending this relationship.
And the Bible talks about that, letting your yes be yes and your no be no. So if you're going to break up, break up. And like you have to say it with your chest. It doesn't mean you're rude or mean. And hopefully these scripts are helping you guys. Let us know in the comments if scripts and stuff like that really helps. Because a lot of times we end up fumbling our words or being unclear and ghosting because we don't know what to say. So we really want to eliminate that barrier for you guys with these scripts.
Yeah. So the fourth stage is discernment. So this is really, you're still dating, but marriage is closer to the table.
Very serious dating, like 6 months plus.
You've had some conversations about engagement, timelines, things like that. Mm-hmm. But how do you want to end it at this stage? Always do it in person. And here's what you can say. I've processed this with trusted people and realized that we have key differences that would cause long-term challenges. Mm-hmm. I cannot confidently move forward towards marriage. So here, you're not over-spiritualizing it, saying like, hey, God told me this. Yo, check out this sermon. You're not doing that. Like, but you're also not giving deep details. Like maybe there is something like deep as far as like
they smoke weed and they won't give it up,
or they lack ambition and you're worried about their finances in the future. Whatever it may be, you don't need to be that direct. You can just say, "Hey, I don't think long term this would work well. Because of that, I want to end this relationship. I don't want to move towards marriage."
Yeah, and they may ask follow-up questions, and like obviously we can get the nitty-gritty with that with you guys in a 20-minute podcast episode of like what to say and follow up, because like it's not just like you're handing in a notice and then leaving, but like it is most likely going to be a conversation. But let it be true with the script that Tim just read about, like you've processed this with trusted people. Like let that be true. Actually talk to people before you make this decision. They can give you kind of more process about that and, talking through, and, we're going to have an episode in a few weeks for you guys about like the people that you need, the community that you need when you're in the dating process, and they can help you kind of have a conversation that you're really confident with.
And one thing you can do is don't do this by yourself. Like let the Lord join you in this process and ask him to give you wisdom on the timing of, hey, when should I have this conversation? How should I have it? Like, don't try to do this on your own. Like, use the Lord's guidance to help you. The fifth stage is engagement. So, how do you break up with somebody when you're engaged? Always in person, no question. I've come to the conclusion that I can't move forward with this marriage. I respect you too much to say yes when I'm not fully in. This is me ending the engagement. So, what needs to happen now? You handle the logistics. So, who's going to get the ring back?
Well, only one person between. Well, I guess it depends.
Some people don't want it back. Keep the ring. How are we going to tell our families if we've already started working with vendors? Like, how are we going to communicate that? Like, have those conversations, be respectful about it. And also, let me say this, like, just being like practical. Like, when you break up with somebody over an engagement, maybe they don't want to have that conversation as far as logistics right in that moment. Right. I think that's fair if they push back, but like, y'all need to have a conversation at some point.
But you need to know that it's your responsibility. An engagement, breaking up an engagement is a little bit of a slower kind of like the flame dies a little bit slower, obviously because you're in a very heightened, more advanced level of commitment than a dating relationship. And obviously the higher we're going, the more rare this is. You're gonna have end talking stages more often than you're going to end an engagement. So yeah, you may break it off with them on one day, but that's not going to be the last time you talk to them, and that's okay because of the level of commitment and things that have to be done.
Yeah, the last stage is the final stretch. So the wedding is near, like maybe a week, 2 weeks, 2 days.
Yeah, which is crazy, but it does happen.
And again, it's better to end an engagement when you know the Lord is saying this isn't it, than to get married and then now you got to get divorced years later.
Yeah, it's better to just like, you're thinking about your families and things like that. What do people say? They've already put down payments on all these things, and like it's much better to disappoint people than to get divorced later. The Lord is like, I told you to end it. And there's so many stories, you guys, of people who, and like people.
So how would you end this? You want to do it in person, and honestly, it's probably best to have some wise counsel present. So maybe it could be the people who are doing your premarital coaching. Yeah. Maybe it could be a couple that you guys had as mentors throughout the process. Like, have somebody else do it or be in the room with you.
A mediator, because it's very serious, yeah.
And here's what you can say. I can't walk into marriage with these unresolved concerns. I've processed this carefully, and I realized that I cannot move forward into marriage with you. This decision is final. Mm-hmm. And again, this is not easy to say. We're not sitting here this conversation going to be so easy. You're going to say this and move on. No, like, you may say this crying. Yeah. You may say this scared. But it has to be said if it's true. Right. If it's what God is telling you and your mentors. And this is why it's good to have somebody else at this level doing the conversation with you. Mm-hmm. Because hopefully you're not the only one who sees the concerns. Like, hopefully you've been doing premarital and the pastor is like, yeah, like, I agree. Y'all really shouldn't be getting married. Like,
how'd you even get to this point?
Yeah. Hopefully there's somebody else with you in this decision-making process. And hopefully, like, the other person will even see it themselves, at least eventually. So don't let anyone else break the news for you. Like, don't have them showing up on the wedding day and they at the altar. Like, where is she?
Well, yeah, she wanted you to know. He wanted you to know.
Yeah, that is trash. Please don't do that. Take the responsibility for yourself.
It ruins your reputation, honestly, because people are going to talk. So make sure you own up to it.
Yeah. Ask God for the courage to do what's hard but holy. Like, ask him, like, Lord, I need you. I don't want to do this because I'm afraid of how they may feel, or even I'm afraid of how I feel.
Yeah, because chances are, if you get to this point and you need to break up, and the chances are, like, this wasn't God's first time trying to pull you back. You just ignored it. So that helps you kind of like own up to it. Like, man, I should have done this a while ago. I just let things kind of carry on and on to this point. So, because I don't want people to be thinking, like, oh, Christians, like, why would Christians be breaking up at the engagement stage a couple days before the wedding? It's because you were ignoring the signs before.
Yeah, so these things that I want to share with you right now, no matter what stage you're breaking up with somebody, remember this. You're not a failure for ending something. You're faithful for listening to God if he's leading you and guiding you. Second thing is, you do not have to ghost somebody to guard your peace. That's not the way. Mm-mm. The third thing is, God gives you grace to say hard things in a holy way. Speak the truth in love. You can do it with the Holy Spirit. Yeah. So if you feel God leading you watching this episode and you know that he's telling you to break up with somebody, ask him for the words. Talk to a mentor or somebody you trust who has wisdom and can help you make this final decision. Journal and write things down. Like, actually talk to God. Spend some time alone. Be like, I feel this way. I'm scared to do this. I'm not sure what's going to happen next. Like, write it all out. That helps you process. And then pray before you break up with the person. And then pray afterwards. Like, Lord,
always pray.
I need your help. So here's the rules to end this with clarity. The rules for every stage that you want to follow, no matter what. Be clear. Leave no confusion. Be respectful. Don't attack the character. Choose the right communication method for the, what's that word?
Depth or the level of commitment of the relationship.
And set future expectations by not dragging things out.
Don't call me, don't text me. I'm not going to call you.
Respect and clarity equals a godly exit. And you can do this. You can honor God leading without dishonoring the person. You can honor God breaking up with somebody without dishonoring
his
the
instructions.
person.
If you haven't done this well in the past, because we've all had little middle school things and high school relationships that we didn't handle it well because we didn't know how, and don't feel shame about that. Ask the Lord to help you treat people the way that you would want to be treated, to follow that golden rule. And you don't have to act like you're big and strong and you're Superman and Superwoman. This can be really hard for you, and you still need to do it. And you still can do it and do hard things. And hopefully this gives you some of the tools and the confidence that you need to break up well, because breakups do happen in the body of Christ, obviously. Sometimes they're with friends and they're with people, and that we talked about that, ending relationships or ending talking stages with people that, you're still able to be friends with years down the road, because you do it well and you do it with respect and with clarity and with honor. We want that, for you guys. So your obedience does matter when it comes to getting in relationships, but also getting out of relationships. And at the end of the day, your witness, how you represent Christ in every single thing that you do, does matter to the Lord, and it should matter to you as well. God does care about how you treat people, even on the way out of a relationship.
Yeah, for sure. So we hope this has been helpful. We tried to be as practical as possible.
Yeah.
But it's going to be spiritual as well for you to pray and work your way through all of this. So trust the Lord. He's got you. We're here for you. And we'll see y'all next week on the W Podcast.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this video.
To get more Christian relationship advice, subscribe to our channel.
And make sure you check out our other videos as well.